Hello, beautiful, and welcome to my YouTube channel, The Spiritual Rebel. What is the Spiritual Rebel all about? It's about unity, it's about peace, it's about humans coming together to unite in one truth, which is that we have so much pain and suffering in the world that we need to learn how to create together more light, more joy, more ecstasy, more bliss. And what I see in the world around spirituality is fragmentation. I see people standing in different corners, and those corners are very clear. They're the different religions and the different societal beliefs, right? Now, from my young age, being brought up in Zimbabwe, I didn't realize the power and the impact that my societal brainwashing and my religious influencing was doing to my mind, to my emotions, and to my identity. It took me until I was 22 years old, a horrible divorce, a leaving my country behind because my ex-husband wanted to stay in Zimbabwe and I felt like Zimbabwe wasn't big enough for the two of us. So I left Zimbabwe. I was in a very broken place. Our marriage ended because I had no personal growth tools whatsoever and nothing I'd learned, neither from my society or from my religious upbringing, had given me the tools that I needed to deal with my mental, emotional lack of well-being. And this lack of well-being was happening way before my husband came into my life, my now ex-husband, right? I was already in a very dark place. With 14, I already tried to commit suicide. And I remember some weeks after that, my mom yelling at me from her bed that I should get up and go to church, right? So I know more than anyone about how it's assumed from society that these are the tools, their conditioning, their ideas, societal ideas, and religious ideas are supposed to give you the power, the strength, and the wisdom. But I know that a lot of people aren't experiencing that. And how do I know that? Because for 30 years, I've been involved in the personal growth industry, helping individuals and even working with prestigious companies, being able to do workshops at places like Google, at UBS. So I've been able to spread this far beyond what people might call the esoteric spiritual world. So just for those of you that are already maybe counting this out because you think that that's what this is all about, because we hear the word spiritual. But the word spiritual is really just about humans. It's about our humanity. And honestly, it's about our spirit, right? So spirit, the spirit that we were born with and that we will leave this body as. There is something divine happening inside of us. And I think a lot of ideas out there in the religious field do speak to that. But unfortunately, due to the other aspects of the teachings, a lot of people are left in fear of themselves, in fear of the very essence that is supposed to be supporting them and helping them, and in fear of not being good enough and therefore a sinner or something not good because you're not able to live that high standard of excellence, what is supposed to be produced from these concepts. So this channel is about dismantling all of the BS that we have been sold around what it means to be a divine human walking on planet Earth. I want to invite you to an honest conversation about growth, about connection, about ending some of the horrible things that we see going on planet Earth that are human created, but we acknowledge that it's human created, but we don't really ask, how can we transform humans? How can we develop humans? We're very interested in developing the next technology in AI while we are crumbling in EI, emotional intelligence. So no, this channel is a rebellion against the downfall of humanity based on societal and religious brainwashing that nobody's addressing. Trust me, I don't really want to be in this role addressing this either, because there's a lot of backlash when we start asking profound and deep questions about societal and religious stuff. But I do feel that this is my calling. I have been already feeling this calling since about 10 years, or maybe honestly from the beginning of the time that I started teaching, and that is 25 years ago. But I felt that it's such a hot topic, I wasn't ready for that heat. But now here I am, yes, literally 25 years in the making, to take on my role and my purpose, which is to support people to release themselves from misunderstandings around who you are, how to connect with the divine inside of you, and how to relate to other people based on this inner light, this inner essence, as opposed to relating to others from I'm Zimbabwean, I'm German, I'm Italian, I'm a Roman Catholic, I'm Jewish, I'm a Christian, I'm Muslim, right? So we're all relating to each other behind the mask of labels. And those labels, especially the spiritual ones, means that we can't put spirituality on the table. We can't come together spiritually because we have different opinions about what that means. I'm suggesting this, putting the past behind us, and like we've done with everything else, we've created something new and beautiful, right? So there's been times on planet Earth where we've done things that didn't serve us, and then we decided to change that because we grew up, we evolved. And this is the next evolution, the spiritual rebellion, right? Which is all about unity. It's about people coming together from all walks of life and sharing truths about what they have experienced inside of the topic of societal and religious influencing, brainwashing, whatever you want to call it, whatever you feel comfortable calling it. But for me personally, I discovered with the age of 23 that I didn't want to let those programs be running me and my life. I went on a deep spiritual search, and I found a purity of a divine connection that is nameless and formless and is all about energy and what you bring to the table energetically. So you can have the best intention from the mind perspective, but your energy can be completely off and creating a different experience for people around you. So if you look at the practices that we have, they speak on these things. They speak on kindness. They speak on generosity. They speak on love. And most of people are practicing that within their own circles of family or society. But then as soon as they start looking to other societies and other religions, that's where the problem starts. So it's time, people, it's time for us to put all these labels aside and come together as one human race and work on ourselves, work on our shame, our guilt, our confusion, work on our shadow, the ugliness that creates burnout, that creates suicide, that creates people breaking down more than they've ever broken down before, that's creating people attacking each other and the sexual violence that we see, that is creating the destruction of planet Earth and bombs and wars that are still going on. We can't just sit around and say intellectually we can solve it through that. No, we're going to have to go deeper. And that deeper is to our heart. We're going to have to bring that head wisdom into the heart. The Spiritual Rebel and this podcast is all about dismantling head wisdom and starting to spread heart resonance information that people can start coming together and creating beautiful transformation in the world. My invitation is to transform yourself first, and then when you feel empowered, go ahead and spread this to others. If you're not feeling empowered right now, there are solutions. There are things that you haven't been thinking about. And I have answers that I want to share with you. You've got questions and I've got some answers. Okay? I love having questions too. I'm not saying I have all the answers. I'm saying I have some answers, and I'll continue learning and growing myself and asking powerful questions too. So we're going to learn together, we're going to grow together, and we're going to have a definite deep conversation about who we are, where we're going, where we've been, where we're going, and what we need to change right now, today, in order to make sure that we get to that destination where we don't need bombs, we don't need more weapons of mass destruction. We have each other, and we'll have an ability to love each other spiritually in a way that we can communicate all our differences out of the window and create more peace on planet Earth. That's a vision. That's the vision I have. And the Spiritual Rebel podcast is all about implementing that vision, starting with anybody out there who wants to be a change maker and a peacemaker and a unity activist. Join me, subscribe to this channel. Let's do it. Mwah. So much love.